You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.
So now let's start with the next lab. In this lab, we'll be installing the Exchange server onto Nita EXE02. So first I'm going to sign in as the Enterprise Administrator, as you can see here. NetSoft Academy /administrator. Oh, I got the password wrong. It's a typo, nothing else. You see, takes a few tries. Sometimes you might be thinking you're typing right, but sometimes it just turns out wrong. So just watch out for typos. I see a lot of issues with typos for people who cannot figure out what exactly they're typing wrong and still getting the errors. So that is a little bit frustrating sometimes to deal with. So first things first, I'll be mounting the Exchange server ISO onto this virtual machine here. So I click on the virtual machine settings, mount the Exchange server 2019 CU14 ISO. Okay, now that this is done, when autoplay starts up here, and if it starts up, I'll just click on it and say run setup.exe. Alternatively, you could just go to the file explorer, go to this PC, right click and say install a run program from your media, and it would work as well. So don't check for updates right now. Next. Now we'll wait for the files to get copied here. This will take a few moments. So we'll wait for it. And then we will move on to the next steps. All right. So now the setup is starting here. So I'll click on next. I accept the license terms and will share diagnostic data with Microsoft. Okay. Next. Use recommended settings. Next. Mailbox role. Automatically install Windows Server roles and features that are required to install Exchange Server. Next. Next. Disable malware scanning. We are going to change it to yes. Next. And we'll wait for the prerequisites to be configured. Now, ideally, you should see only one warning or two warnings at the very most. You should not see anything else. If you see anything else, if you see anything like an error or something, just go back to the previous lab and redo all the steps just to make sure that everything is there. In case you're missing something, it will tell you that, hey, it's already installed. Do you want to uninstall it? You say, okay, no, I don't want to uninstall. Just cancel, then you move on. In case you missed anything. If that is not the case, then you go back one more lab. You go back to the domain controller and you run the 3 commands again and verify that everything is completed. The errors will only show up when these things are not completed. The errors will only be resolved once you complete all of those necessary tasks. Keep that in mind. So I'll just wait for the prerequisites to be configured and analyzed, and then we'll look at the next steps. And you can see this here that I only have one warning that the mitigation service endpoint isn't accessible from this computer. Completely fine, no worries. I'll click on install and the installation will start now. This will take some time, so we'll wait for it to complete. And once it completes, we will do the next necessary verification steps, including sending an email to verify if the mail flow is working as planned. Okay, so at this point, you can see that my setup is complete. I'm going to click on finish. Now, once this is done, I know for a fact that the setup is finished. So I'll first make sure of a couple of things. So first I'll go to my server manager here, click on tools. Now do remember that there is a significant amount of processing load that is going on. So you will find that it is a little bit slower. It's completely okay, nothing out of the ordinary. Click on services. Now alternatively, you can always look for services right here. You could just look on search, you could just start search for services and it would still show up for you, not a problem. Both ways are correct. Now, under this, the first thing that we'll be doing is we'll scroll down to M because it starts from Microsoft Exchange, right? So everything that has Microsoft Exchange. So we are starting from Microsoft Exchange Active Directory topology. Everything should be running. Even if one or two things are not running and they should be set to automatic, it's okay. So server extensions and all those things, some things are okay. You do not want those things to be running on automatic like POP3 and things like that, but they should be running. Everything should be running. Once this is done, the next step is now you navigate to let's say you go to your start menu here, click on all, navigate to Exchange Server 2019. So there are two things. Number one, you can click on the Exchange Administrative Center and it will open the browser right from here. Now, see, this is the reason why I personally do not prefer Edge, just because of this process. Even though I have to do it once, it is sometimes not the best of processes. It is very frustrating sometimes. Now, that is one thing. The other thing is the exchange management tool that you can see right here. Click on the exchange management tool or the exchange management shell, not the tool. So sorry. It's the exchange management PowerShell tool. That's the right way of putting it. If I want to call it a tool, I'm not calling it a tool in any way other than the point that it is actually a tool. If you're thinking something else, it's on you, it's not on me. All right. I want this to connect first. Once it says connected, and this will take a minute or two, you need to wait for it. This is the reason why, even if I go to the browser here, if it's not connected, it's not saying connected there, no matter what I do. So, for example, I go to https colon double slash nita exch02 dot netsoftakademy.com slash OWA and slash and enter, you can see that it can't be reached because it is not connected here. We have to wait for this to connect. So we'll wait for this to connect. Once it is connected, then we will verify if the mail flow is working as planned. All right, as you can see now, this is connected here. So if I go back to my browser and I say reload, now this only can be because of a mistake or a typo or something else, because everything else looks perfectly okay. So I'm going to copy this https colon double slash slash OWA slash. Now, could there be a reason behind this? Yes, it could just be that there might be some other things in the background that are still not running. Is that going to be a thing right now? Yes, it could be a thing right now if you let it be a thing. See? This generally happens because some services in the background are still not configured. Don't worry too much about it. So I'll just quickly find the right service for this and start it, and then we can see what exactly is happening here. So yes, as you can see this here, I am able to get this to work. Now, I went to the ECP. I'll be honest, I went to the ECP. But if I really wanted to change anything else here, I would just say OWA slash and enter, and you can see that it's Outlook. So all it took was a little bit of persuasion from the from the domain controller to just like say, okay, hey, everything is working. You just need to work now. So first things first, NetSoft Academy / administrator password 1350. Once I do this, I'll be asked to set my time zone and everything, which I'll do very quickly. Now, just so that we are on the same page here, the only fix that I did was I just ensured that my IP addresses were all correct and it was pointing to the right location. So 172.16.10.20, here, because of loopback, it would say 127.0.0.1. Now, while ideally it is not a bad idea because loopback is generally used for NIC testing and making sure everything is working, but in this case, we needed it to work properly. So I changed the IP address here. I disabled and enabled the adapter on the domain controller, and when I went back here, you can see this that I was able to sign in. It was a very simple fix, relatively very simple fix. I didn't have to turn on or turn off any services. I haven't done anything. All right, so once this is here, I click on new. Now, remember, I don't have any other user other than the administrator at the moment. So this, let's say this is a test email. Or you can even put in today's date. It's your call. This is a test email and send. And the moment the email leaves from the drafts and shows up in the inbox, we already know that the mail flow is working exactly as planned. And that is the goal here. We want the mail flow to be working and be functional. And once we see the email here, if I refresh this page once or twice, you will see that the email would be here. It will take a little bit of time. Remember, it has to go find the right server, ask the domain controller, hey, which user are we targeting? Does this user have a mailbox? Go through the entirety of the list, and then it will show up here. Now you can see that it's in the sent items, and there's no email that is saying, oh, the email wasn't sent. There's no bounce back. So you can see that the email is received, and that verifies our mail flow and installation is perfect. Now, one last thing, just because we have to do this, go to File Explorer, this PC, local disk C, program files, Microsoft, Exchange Server v15, and under this, just verify that you have client access, mailbox, and transport roles there. If those three are there, that means everything has been installed properly. And that is the end of this lab here. So I'll see you in the next lab. Thank you.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.